the internet, it's Ghost here, and welcome to 13 minutes of me talking about stuff that I build in 45 minutes, because everything on this channel is a time-lapse. I did do 15 minutes last time, but frankly, I don't think I want to keep talking for that long, because it's a bit weird sitting in my room just talking at a laptop screen. Apparently the game does not want to catch up, but based on the timeline, we're building something, and it might be an interior, or is it a tunnel? I'm not 100% sure. Please don't be another tunnel. Oh, it is technically a tunnel, but we are actually finally building the rest of these bedrooms. This is following on from last episode's build, in which we were building an area for the horse guards people to be hiding out in and sleeping and whatnot before going on shift. Because I like to imagine there's going to be horse patrols all the time, because I think horses are cool. I promise you, I was not a horse girl as a child. I just liked horses a bit. And we had horses in the fields in our village. Did you know I picked when we moved house, I picked which room I had based on the fact I could see horses. And there's video evidence of it because of the fact that they were concerned that when I grew up, I would be like, oh, why did I get the smallest room? Well, it was kind of my own fault. I picked it because of horses. I have no regrets. I can watch Chinooks occasionally when they come over really low. On the rare occasions that they do that, but it's always like, oh, hello, Chinook, yay! I really want to see Chinooks again, but like in an air show and actually be able to probably see them, not in React, where because they do everything really close to the ground, you couldn't see anything, because we did not get the barricaded bit, and we didn't pay for hospitality because hospitality is so expensive at these things. Anyways. I am still using that pear oak thing on the roof because I decided, tunnels, microphone, come closer to me, there we go. Oh, I just moved my tablet. Oopsies. I've decided I'm going to lean back in my seat to record this, so I'm now messing with my microphone. Apologies for any strange noises it makes. There we go. It's perfect. Also, if there is ever an issue with my microphone, please do tell me, because I don't like listening to myself back. I always feel like I sound really different to what I'm currently hearing myself saying. So we just don't do it. Okay, I'm tunneling more things out. There's a lot of that in this episode. I don't know why I picked a spruce floor. I think I was just like, oh, it's kind of warm and homely, and everything else is tough. Of which I kind of hate the texture of tough bricks, but at the same time, they work for what I want them for. Could I have used stone bricks? Yes. Am I regretting that I didn't do that? Kind of, yes. I feel like their texture is a bit kind of more textury. I don't know if that explains how I feel about them. I just feel like there's like a specific visual texture that isn't like, ooh, it's a shiny block. It's like, I don't want shiny blocks. But I imagine if I got a shader pack, that might fix things. But I don't have a shader pack because I don't think my laptop can handle that, which is really, really fun. I don't know why I'm entering a state of delirium other than the fact I did get out of bed earlier than I normally would, but hey ho, is what it is. I'm up and I'm committed to being up. So here we are. Here's my horses. They're very nice. I haven't actually named the horses. I need to name these Minecraft horses. That is something I should have done a long time ago. I then went in and discovered that the amethyst chest, in fact, needs more amethyst. Because they started putting copper in the chest. Does it actually improve the problem? No, technically not. Is it annoying? Yes. So there we are. I did things. Oh, apologies for all the yawning. I then destroyed things in my inventory that I didn't need. And was like, why do I have, like, nothing in it? Oh, wait, because I put everything into, the ender chest, because I kept kind of filling up my inventory with different vase patterns that I put together for things for decoration. I really love that we have those though. I think they're a great idea. Thank you, Minecraft. Very, very happy with those. Not that they care. Are we excited for when we get the small baby animals and they update them? I'm kind of excited. I think they look very cute. I'm also excited that I can have the babies stay as babies, because that's something I very much want to be able to do in my Minecraft world, in my zoo, is have there always be babies. because I think they're adorable, and that's all that matters. So yeah, building more tunnels, fantastic, and then discovering, oh, there's the outside, I can't actually do what I wanted, now I've got to cover that up and make sure that you can't tell from the outside, because the whole point of this is you don't quite know how extensive this actually gets. It's really funny when I look in spectator mode now, because there's so much of it. It is mostly just tunnels at the minute and no proper rooms, which I need to work on. Am I likely to work on that anytime soon? I don't know. So yeah, I'm just looking up at my bookshelf and I'm realising quite how ridiculous the number of books I have is, and the fact that most of them are military related. That's slightly daft. I need to finish reading that section. I did kind of buy loads of books back in the summer that I haven't actually read, but I'm going to, and I'm committed to getting through them eventually. So here we go, adding in some paintings to the walls and then doing stuff to make them look interesting and trying to have them be certain sizes so they fill up the space how I desire. I wish we had slightly more variations on some of the different sized paintings, or without doing map art, Minecraft would make a way in game for you to create your own art. That would be cool. I don't think they're going to though. And I'm not just meaning like giant walls that you happen to have decorated, but actually making it kind of the words aren't wording. Why you can like pixel paint things on a canvas of your own choosing. That would be cool. Anyways, I had hoped that you'd be able to put spears into the copper golem's hands, not realising they had to be holding the spear when they oxidised to be able to do that, and well, I was not going to go through that effort of trying to put them in there. So it is what it is. That is the attitude to this build. It is what it is. I went in and I added lots and lots of doors for some reason, specifically choosing to have copper and the slightly weathered version of copper, and nothing else. Except for that one door that isn't. And then I kept walking back and forth trying to work things out, then built another room, because I was having to do maths on it and work out how many I needed, and decided, okay, the slightly bigger room is wherever the commanding officer would go. Then discovered one of my many tunnels trying to connect things up. My slightly ridiculous tunnels, to be honest, and they are permanent features now. You will never find them because I don't have them actually connected into things, but they are there. That's my logic. Has anyone else seen... the videos haven't cropped up in my recommended again, but has anyone else seen the guy on YouTube who's building Subnautica in Minecraft? It's kind of mad. Admittedly, I was watching it at like 10 o'clock at night, so I don't remember half the episode, but it was insane. The patience to build that. Yeah, I'm trying to come up with things to talk about right now that doesn't just involve me rambling and spinning on a chair, because that's how we film episodes. Anyways, I put in the standard, the bed, the lectern, the double copper chest. I did a double bed in here. Don't quite know why I did that. Added in a lantern so that there's light, added some barrels, shut the doors and called it a day. I then did the same for the rest of the rooms, making sure everything looked alright. Decided not to put trapdoors at the end of the bed, did some weird configurations to try and fit everything in. It's a bit cramped. And then did the same over and over again until I filled all the rooms in slightly different variations, and that was the point. I wanted them to all have exactly the same furnishings. There might be numerical differences between how many bookshelves and barrels each person gets, but other than that, everything is identical. And I would argue that if you have a problem, you can store books in barrels. And what are you likely to have more of? Books. Because books are the best. Anyways, going back to the actual point of the build, I then grabbed paintings and deep slate tiles because I was going to be trying to do very specific sized paintings. Why? Because I'm trying to fill up specific sections that I think look boring. This one had lots and lots of paintings. I'm very happy with my many paintings. I then added a little shelf in which there's a candle on. I don't quite know why, but I did. It was a choice that got made. I also wanted to try and give everyone a different painting, which turned into trying to remember how many painting variations there were of different sizes. That's not really my thing. I want to build a proper art gallery at some point that has every single painting, but I feel like that's going to be a logistical annoyance for me, and I will probably get very annoyed with it very quickly. I do need to name those horses. It's really funny when you just go past the animal. Maybe I should call one of them Derek, but I feel like I've called other animals in here Derek. I feel like I default to really specific names. I could call one Connie. That would be a nice name for a horse. But I don't know which one. Because there's very specific colours, and I'd want to kind of go thematic to each set of horses. Like, we have the ones that are, like, specifically white. We have they're, like, the ones that'd be owned by, like, the Ghast Tower people. And then we have ones that are grey, and I think they were for the ocean ones, I think. And then I think the brown ones and, like, the brown and white ones were specifically for the copper area. And specifically looking for, like, the lighter brown, because that's kind of more coppery, in my opinion. So yes, I picked different horse colours to go with different things. There's no other logic to it. I think it was kind of inspired by, like, when you see, like, the horse guards and, like, the household cavalry in the parades, there's always, like, specific groups of specific coloured horses that do specific things. Also, could we talk about how impressive it is to be able to, like, ride on a horse and play music, like, perfectly in tune? It's so cool. I also love watching the horses before they go on the parades, because they're just, like, not happy to be there. You can tell which ones the younger ones are, because they're usually tossing their head back, just like, why am I here? Why am I standing? I also like the ones that carry the drums. They look so cute. I want to just pet them. I know you're not going to pet them. They're so cute. If you're ever in London, the Household Cavalry Museum, I'm going to recommend that as a museum. It's not a particularly big one, but if you go in, there's a window where you can see into where some of the Household Cavalry are. And if you get there before they do the changeover, you can watch that, then go into the museum, and then you'll see some of them as they come in. And it's so cool. That's my opinion on that museum. You also have the Guards Museum near there. That's another good museum. I went to see those on a trip, and it was very cool. We got a guided tour of the Cavalry Museum. It was a very nice museum. They've got, like, the historic floor that they, like, I think they had to, like, basically dig a load of concrete off it, because it'd gotten covered up over the years. I think English heritage had something to do with it. But yeah, that's cool. And also remember, never get in the way of the horses, and don't stand too close to the horses, or the horses bite you, and it makes very funny videos. Because you have been warned. I'm pretty sure there's even signs that warn people. Anyways, going back to the build, because we've seriously gone on a tangent. I think I just furnished that room with stuff. You can probably work out what it is. And then did a doorway in which I used shelves and stuff to make it look pretty. And then tried to do trapdoors. Trapdoors aren't always my strong point, but that's basically the end of the video, because I put in a few lanterns, and when I have no more ideas, it's been about 40 minutes, that's it. Goodbye the internet. I will see you all again next Sunday. Bye!